What's going on, everyone? It's JT Taylor of Purpose Pushers LLC, and I'm back reporting on equity research on purpose. I'm still discussing poverty. How has poverty impacted schools today? This is a report, an article that you can find online at nationofchange.org. And this article really shines a light on the disparity. I mean, how poverty impacts groups in America, how it impacts families, how it impacts communities, and there are some disparities in terms of who's impacted the most. But as you can see from the title of this article, half of Americans are either near poverty or are already in poverty. We're talking half. That means that every educator in public schools all across the country, you are likely to be responsible for providing teaching and learning for students who are coming from impoverished backgrounds. And so the research says right here that what we're seeing today has been called the sharpest rise in the U.S. poverty rate since the 1960s. That's profound to me. So as we can see, poverty is pervasive. It is ubiquitous. It is found everywhere. No one seems to really be able to escape it. But there are some families, there are some communities that are certainly more likely to be impacted by poverty than others. And who are those families? We see right here black and brown families. Over half of black and Latino families lack the funds to sustain them for 3 months at a poverty level. And so we see that not every family is impacted equally by poverty, and it's the adverse impacts that come with poverty. So, how do we respond to that? How do we respond to that as a school system, as individual educators, as educational leaders? How do we respond in such a way that educational equity becomes manifested, it becomes tangible, that students are still receiving what they need to be successful? We're talking about equitable access to technology, equitable access to quality instruction. How do we make sure that happens? Well, if you ask me, it starts with awareness. We have to first be aware of the students that we're teaching. We got to get to know our students. We got to make sure that we put systems in place. We put plans in place. We allocate resources appropriately and effectively to ensure that every child is receiving what they need. I'm talking about scaffold instruction. I'm talking about remediation. I'm talking about access to counselors and other support professionals who can provide that added level of support for our students who are coming in with more challenges. If we don't do this, educational equity will be just a mirage. If we don't do this, students will not succeed. If we don't do this, we will not move the academic needle. And we all know that's why we're in this profession. So let's be aware of the fact that over half of Americans are near or are already in poverty, which means you are likely to be responsible for educating students who are coming in from low socioeconomic status backgrounds, and students who are coming in and they may not have all of their needs met at home. And so we have to be empathic enough and understanding enough to do our best to ensure that every child has a chance, that every child has an opportunity to demonstrate their brilliance, because they're all brilliant. Purpose is everywhere. All it needs is a push. All right, that's all for me. I am JT Taylor, CEO of Purpose Pushers LLC, with your equity research on purpose. Thanks for spending this time with me. You guys go on and teach with purpose and lead with purpose. Peace.